Hey guys, it is John C. Morley here, serial entrepreneur. Welcome to IFYL Inspiration for Your Life. I'm so glad you decided to join me here tonight. Today is Friday, June 28, 2024. It's October and it's 10:12 p.m. Whether you're here with me p.m. or whether you're here 10:12 a.m., whether you're here 6 a.m., 6 p.m., or maybe even 1 a.m. or 1 p.m., it doesn't really matter. Thank you so much for being here. Really do appreciate you for being with me here on my show. All right, guys, let's get into the master topic. The master topic, which ends tonight, I'm really psyched about this. Captivating life stories that will change your life. We're on series 3. The granular topic is the magic to captivating an audience. Series 3, which means we're in the 3rd year. We're on show 26, and this is episode number 7. So the magic, right? There's a formula to captivating your audience. And I'm going to tell you what you should do and what you shouldn't do. Those are important things, right? All right. First thing I want to share with you, because it's kind of like a summary of everything we did all week. One thing is use visual or other technology aids. That can be things like a laser pointer. That can be a projector. It can be an easel. It can be a corkboard. It can be anything, really. I mean, you can have props, and it can be that. It can be an experiment, right? So that's what people like. People like to see when there's a visual aid. It can be an auditory aid too. But think about what you need when you're going to be presenting and practice with those tools, not the day before you go, but practice as soon as you think about what you're going to speak about. Okay, that's very important. I'm going to share another tip with you. The reason a lot of people forget things is because they're not anchored enough. So one way to anchor, and I love this technique, is you can start in your chair. Okay, let's say I start at my desk, and I can put different parts of my speech in different parts of my house, including out to my car. And as I'm walking, like, I'm going to remember those things because our mind works in spatial with what we associate. So that really works well because we know the location. If I said to you, hey, put the opening line to your speech, on the top shelf of your fridge. Okay, open the fridge, get that line, great. Now, as you're walking out, you're reading. The next point that you're going to get into might be on your, might be on your kitchen counter or whatever. So you get the idea. All right, very, very important, ladies and gentlemen, and I can't stress this enough. Don't sell, don't sell, don't sell. I know so many people out there that all they do is they sell. And then they wonder why nothing's going anywhere. I mean, that's a real challenge for some people. And I think the reason it's a challenge for people is that they just feel that that's the best way for them. I mean, they don't realize that the best way from them is to understand that it's about educating people. It's about educating people. And I will tell you, ladies and gentlemen, that is so very, very important. Okay? Very, very important. I mean, really, really important. Don't sell. All right? That's number 1. That's your number 2. Number 3, be human. Be you. Okay? If you're a funny person, you could be funny. You don't have to try to be funny. Just be you, right? There was a great song in the Rags to Riches story, and it was about, just you be you. And I think that's the most important thing. I think a lot of people, they see other people like, oh, I want to be like that, but you don't need to be like that. You can just be you, and people will really appreciate the you that you are. So, but I mean it when I say don't sell, because so many people feel, well, if I do this, I should be able to get something really good. No, you're going to piss people off is what you're going to do. You're going to get people really angry at you because they're going to be annoyed that you're actually trying to sell them. That's the catch, ladies and gentlemen. That is absolutely the catch. So if you know that it's about I'm going to say certain things, then realize those certain things can happen if you embrace them. All right. Okay, good. So now the next thing we want to do is we want to talk with them like you would do a friend, right? Make it more conversational. When I go to so many presentations, and they're like very lecture format, right? You want to make them informal. The information can be formal, but you want to make it casual. You want to make the people feel comfortable that they're actually there. I mean, a lot of times I've given keynotes, but when I give a keynote, it's personal. It's not like they want to close their ears after 2 minutes. They are on the edge of their chair waiting for me to give them more information. All right. So, again, these are secrets to captivating an audience. Talk of them like you would to a friend, right? So when you're sharing things, share it in that way. Don't think of them as strangers. Think of them as your best friend. Think of them as friends around that you just want to talk to, you want to share things with. And that's going to go really well for you. All right. The next point, very, very important. Be humble, ladies and gentlemen. I know you might be smart. I know you might know everything that you're working on, but just be a little humble. All right. Being humble is such an amazing thing that you would not imagine how things are. But you've got to be humble, because if you are humble, ladies and gentlemen, it's like life changes when you're humble. And being humble just means that you're someone that, let's say, really understands and grounds themselves well. Okay, and I think that's a very, very keen point. So be humble. So I want to go back here and just talk again about this other point, which we talked about. Don't sell. When I say don't sell, focus on education. Focus on the value. Okay. Don't push products. Don't push services. Educate people. Share the value. When I said to be human, I want you to realize being human, being you, just be you, like the Rags to Riches movie. You want to be authentic. You don't want to be like somebody else. It's okay to take some of their traits, but you want to be you. I want to be John. You want to be Mark. You want to be Joe. You want to be whoever you are, but be proud to be that authentic self. All right. That's important when we say to be basically to be human. The next point is talk with them like you would a friend. Build a genuine connection, right? You want that connection to last. Therefore, you want to create trust. Be humble, ladies and gentlemen. Stay grounded and relatable. Like, don't go up here on cloud nine. There's no reason for you to go cloud nine. There's no reason for you to go up there. All right. You don't need to impress anybody. Let me say that again. You don't need to impress anybody. You want to be authentic in who you are as a person. All right. You want to be authentic in who you are as a person. So the next thing I want to talk about is number 6, share lessons. Share lessons, and when we share lessons, we offer insights and experiences, but we give a personal account of our life. I'll give you an example. So when I was in grammar school, and I remember that I would be there, and I remember that when it was time for somebody's birthday party, okay, it was such a big deal because everyone knew when somebody was throwing a birthday party, even if they were just having a few kids, it was like they knew. And you felt so bad because you're not invited. Don't feel bad, okay? And then what happened is that person went up inviting the whole class because they couldn't deal with it. So you've got to understand that in this case, you want to invite who you want to invite. Don't let peer pressure dictate, oh, I'm going to bring you a better gift, or I'm going to bring an expensive gift. Who cares about the gift? Who cares about the present? Who cares about anything they're going to do? What you really should care about is their friendship. I had people come to my birthday parties and they didn't even come. They just they would come in like for 5 or 10 minutes and then they'd leave and they'd bring a gift. And I'm like, why are they doing this? They're coming for a few minutes and they're leaving. Now, I didn't expect that from them. And I got invited to a lot of parties. You know why? Because I gave a pretty expensive gift. And as I got older, I realized that, we gave the gift because we want to be popular. But, I don't need to be popular. I don't need people to like me for what I have. Now it's just a matter of giving a thought. Remember, the gift is a thought. I shared this with you guys the other weekend when it was Father's Day. I had gotten my dad a edible arrangement. And I got a small one, which was fine for him. But he was so happy that I sent him that. It lasted over a week or two. So I think it's important when we can get the gratification that somebody likes the gift we got them. And again, it is the thought. It is the thought. Doesn't matter what size it is. Doesn't matter what color. It's the thought that they remembered me on my birthday or they remembered me on this special occasion. That's important. Or on this momentous graduation, or whatever it is. Okay. Another point. Ask thought-provoking questions. Engage your listeners' minds. I didn't say play 20 questions with them. Maybe if I'm giving a talk about motivation, I'm giving a talk where people can set promises to themselves. It's like, okay, so I want everyone just to think back for a moment. Has there ever been a time in your life when you wanted to do something? Think about that time right now. Think about what it meant to do that something. And I want to ask you, did that something happen or did it not happen? If it didn't happen, you probably were feeling depressed. Now, if you're feeling depressed, did you do something to turn that around so that you could make that negative situation become positive? Did you? These are thought-provoking questions. I don't have to get the answers to them. I want to ask questions so they can ask their mind. Another one I might ask is, many of you remember going to preschool, grammar school, or high school. And how many of you remember either having a bully pick on you or you being the bully? How many of you remember that? And if you remember that, how did that make you feel inside when they said you were worthless or when they said that you were no this or they called you names? How did that make you feel? Not good, right? But chances are you probably internalized that so much and you owned that feeling. You see, all you needed to do, but we didn't know this. We weren't taught this back then. If we disassociate for something, then guess what happens? The charge goes right out of it. If we associate with something, we get those feelings in. So we want to associate with things and have our audience associate with things that they feel good about. Okay. So I might say something to the audience, okay, great. So if you had a bad experience, just, let it go. It's not part of you. Like, it doesn't matter to you anymore. Okay. If you had a good experience, well, now let's find something that you had a good experience on. Now what I want you to do is I want you to make that picture really big. Okay. I want you to turn the volume up. I want you to turn the contrast up. And I want you to make the screen like 10 times bigger. And I want how you feel right now. I see a lot of your eyes are gleaming and you're feeling good. So that means we have the power to actually adjust how we feel. So if there's a negative situation going on, could be a doctor's appointment you're not happy with, could be a friend, could be a relationship, you can basically disown that. Okay. And what I mean by disown that is that you don't allow it to bother you. Okay. So you don't associate it with you. It's like, okay, that person wants to be nasty. That person wants to call me that. Great. Let him call me that. The reason we got so bent out of shape and many people were crying in preschool and kindergarten and grammar school and high school, maybe even some in college, hopefully not. But the reason that happened is because you put so much value into what they said that it mattered to you. I'm going to give you a story that happened not too long ago, maybe about 8, 9 years ago. I'm not going to mention the person's name because that's not professional and that wouldn't be fair. Well, anyway, the person was a neighbor of mine, and the person had this real strong ego. He was in the financial market. Now, nothing bad about the financial market, but a lot of people in the financial market, they believe that they're God. I don't know why, but they just believe they're God. And so, like, they're above everybody. This person would always knock into me because he was always in a rush. And it was kind of like his way of letting me know that he's more important than I am. Okay. We later became friends. Why? I don't know. And when we started becoming friends, and he started telling me, "Hey, John, I don't have time for people." I said, "Oh, I guess you don't have time for me." "No, John, you're different. Like you're not a people. You're not like that. You're different." "Oh, how am I different?" "I don't know, John. You're different. You're just not like the people that I would call people. Like you have a brain. I mean, you just have it all together." And so I remember when the relationship started to go a little bit south and it wasn't going to be fixed. I remember that he would really take this desire on when he was in control. And for the longest time, ladies and gentlemen, I don't want to say I believed he was God, but I believed he was really superior. You know what I did, ladies and gentlemen? Here's the lesson I'm going to share with you. I put him up on a pedestal. A pedestal not equal to me, a pedestal higher than me. And I was looking up to him like, oh my gosh, like not that he's God, but I was like, oh my gosh, I just want to be like him. But what I started to learn about him is that he didn't have it all together. This ego that he portrayed and he let off was something he did because he was insecure with himself. So I share this with you because what I learned after a few years is that I needed to just disassociate with him. I needed to like not worry about what mattered with him. Like that it didn't matter what he said. But not just to say it, to believe it. To just know that whatever he said, just, let it just go over my back. Right. And that happened. I'm not going to get into all the details, but that happened because of a disrespect that he elicited toward me. And when that disrespect happened, my moral kicked in and said, oh, wait a minute, John. He just broke a major boundary. Anything he says is like crap. It doesn't matter. But we can make that choice even if that didn't happen. So I learned that even though I waited for that to happen and it changed me, I could have disassociated from him anytime I wanted to. Any relationship. So disassociating is not hard. It just means that you don't put, your attention on it. You don't believe that you're part of that. You just say, okay, that's the way they want to be. That's great. I have nothing to do with that. That's it. And believe it. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm John C. Morley, serial entrepreneur. It's been a privilege, pleasure, and honor to be with you this fantastic, amazing evening. I hope you'll like, love, and support the channel. Comment below, tag your friends, colleagues, and associates, and share this out, ladies and gentlemen, with everyone you know on social media. And you know what? I'm going to catch you when? Tomorrow with a brand new master topic. Have yourself a fantastic evening, everyone.